Right now, I have a lot of people that are persecuting me because of the fact that I live in extreme poverty and I am on the brink of homelessness and I suffer a lot. And so, in essence, I should commit suicide. But I also think that my life has a purpose. And well, I shouldn't say a purpose. I think that I'm on a conductive journey of universal proportions. And as crazy as it sounds, I don't mind it sounding crazy. It's just that I'm aware that there are a lot of people in this world that try to make having a baby more cognitively logical than wanting to exit. It's like introducing someone to planet Earth is normal. But if you want to exit or if you don't like it, something's wrong with you. So there are a lot of black men that are trying really hard to make me think that I'm crazy because they're fat, they're old, they're ugly, they're stereotypical, and they thought that they could intimidate a young woman's mind about life. And honestly, there is no limit to the opinions of a life you didn't choose. Now, if I had put a business on earth or put a child on earth, then I could understand you thinking that I'm Lulu in the head for having contradicting opinions about the existence, but I could think whatever I want. I mean, people write books of horror, they make films of pornography. Motherfucker, just consider this video to be one of those categories of thought. You either like it or you don't. But I'm not crazy because I think differently than you. But anyways, to make a long story short, I say this because this is the first generation where people have planned to return to planet Earth, which means all of the people that are dying, well, not all of them, but a lot of people believe in reincarnation. And a lot of people are planning to return to the planet after they die, which means they don't know exactly perhaps, but they're all trying to do what you call evolutionary progress. It's kind of like we don't teach reincarnation in life. The Egyptians and ancient history would talk about the reincarnation of the pharaohs, but all people believed in the afterlife during Egyptian dynasties. Everyone knew that they were going to have an afterlife with Ra, and they also knew and thought that they would actually either wake up together collectively in another paradisal planetary orbit, or that they would return to Earth as, a resurrection of their former lifetime. So there is a time when people did believe in these things, and then it just disappeared from history, and it was a little bit here and there about it. But today, actually, in our generation, we have a lot of millennials, rather their grandparents and their mothers and fathers, that actually are starting to kind of wake up to that reality that they're not going to hell, at least not yet. And so they're thinking about, coming back. They're thinking about being big, bad, and bold, and having children on earth and leaving them on the earth and coming back and being a child themselves. As a matter of fact, I believe that there are some people on earth that know that they've been here before, and they're very much aware that they passed away recently and have returned to live another life. I say this because it's strange how I believe that when I pass away, the entire planet is going to come to an end. I believe that when I pass away, this entire population is going to start suffering shortly after I pass. And I believe that life on planet Earth is going to come to a solid end, and that people are going to be electrocuted in pitch black darkness, like a person who's sleeping but they cannot open their eyes, after a global destruction of galactic proportions. I believe this with all my heart. I say this because the human race is trash. They always have been, and obviously they always will be. They are good for nothing, they waste everything, and no one will ever choose to live with such a body of people. And it's about time that they are reckoned with and done accordingly as they have done to someone who's the total opposite of them. I am a total opposite of all human beings. I do not agree with anyone on planet Earth. I do not think that anyone here is logical, realistic, reasonable, or right. I think that the human race is absolutely mad to think someone will live in such conditions, whether poor or rich. I think y'all are crazy for charging a price for people's feelings being outside of themselves. I think y'all are crazy to allow aging to happen. I think y'all are crazy to allow aging to happen as a commonplace expectation and normality. I think that everything you do and everything that people do, white, black, or yellow, is absolutely unintelligent, and I despise every single human being on planet Earth. But I find it strange because people persecute me for the pains that I go through and how empty and void my life is and how much pain I endure in order to live this shabby life that I'm living. And I say to you, I think it's strange because for the first time in history in AD, you all are actually planning on having a future on Earth. Some of y'all are coming out the womb knowing that you've been here before, as in waking up to some ethereal deja vu. Some people are dying with hopes that they'll come back and be here or there, do this or do that. And people are actually having great expectations of life on planet Earth. You know, for the first time, I would say in AD, this is really a very good time for the human race. That's why I'm suffering, because y'all are my enemy. And so since we're adversaries, y'all are having a good time on Earth. I am in misery. You know, I understand properly, but my body is always in pain. I'm being afflicted. I'm persecuted. I'm always suffering. I'm going through a lot of things. And one of the reasons why is because we're direct opposition. But also, I don't really care how much you all are persecuting me, but I do care because it's painful. But what I'm trying to say is, I think it's strange that you all are persecuting me for a life unlived. And then I think it's strange that I'm going to end life on planet Earth when I pass away. Even though it's odd that I'm in pain, as in, you know, I have to live in pain. When I pass away, I'm going to end everyone's pleasure. Is it easier to say that I suffered in a lifetime, or those that felt good are going to suffer forever? So it really didn't matter, because you really didn't feel good because of what's going to happen next. And I really wasn't suffering because I'm going to be rescued from it, as in I'm going to exit pain. So even though it's a lot of pain that I'm going through and it's very uncomfortable, it's nothing compared to what's about to happen to everybody on the planet. You see, it's so hard to explain this. It's kind of like, it's unbelievable. I mean, like I said, I believe that no one would ever let the human race exist forever. I don't necessarily believe in hell and heaven. I believe in electrocution. I believe that the only thing that could happen to a person on planet Earth is they be electrocuted by their nervous system. And if no one does anything about it, they will be electrocuted their whole lifetime through. So the only thing I would ever do to the entire human race for supporting that possibility, which is overall life on planet Earth, is electrocute every single person. And the reason why I do it in pitch black darkness is because if a person has a nervous system on planet Earth, they would not have given themselves a toilet to piss and shit. So they're blind, which means that anyone with a nervous system could have never put the Earth together. So they don't have eyes. They have other people seeing for them what to do. So it's unfair for a person with a nervous system to work a job, pay bills, clean, live on Earth, because that person's just being electrocuted and they don't know why. I'm just here being electrocuted just to pay bills. And I'm decomposing. My hands are dry and dehydrated. I'm the ugliest woman on Earth. And there's no reason for it. Why should I live and be ugly just for the heck of it? Nobody's on this planet doing anything of substantial value or so important that I have to be ugly, electrocuted, and poor for any reason. Many, many times I've asked people to do right by my life, and the answer was no. Many, many times I've tried to prove to them there's no profit from doing wrong to me, and the answer was always no. So in essence, when I pass away, everything that people have been doing that's pleasurable and everything that people have been doing that's fun, it's going to come to a solid end. When it comes to an end, it will be as though you never had pleasure, because pleasure is always too short if it ends, as pain is too long even if it ended. And I'm just saying this because I don't know why people persecute me about the pains I currently endure, because it's bad, because it's me going through pain. But it's nothing compared to what's going to happen when this is all said and done. Nobody on Earth believes that they're going to be electrocuted for all of eternity, because they had hopes that they were going to be burned in, fiery flames of hell if they sinned. But no, I'm talking about cutting. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say. Like, what I'm trying to say is, I want the human race to be electrocuted like bees are stinging you all over your body, or someone's cutting you with glass all over your body. And then it stops where you feel the throbbing of your body, the beating of your blood, but you don't have a body that you can see and you can't die. That's what I want to happen to every human being on Earth, for supporting a system in which a person could work while being electrocuted and then die, and no one ever cared for that person's life. There's nothing so important on planet Earth that you couldn't find out who had a nervous system and take really good care of that person until they passed away. I don't know what a nervous system is for, to be quite honest. You can never justify it. But I know good and well that no one would ever be electrocuted for the nasty-ass human race to live in any condition whatsoever. And even though you persecute me, make a mockery, I am so determined, and I am never going to stop believing that each and every one of you are going to be electrocuted forever and ever. for my whole life having to go through this foolishness of a lifetime of pain, suffering, and poverty. It is absolutely ridiculous.